The classroom can be a battlefield when you're different. Sean opens up about his childhood and struggling at school with his teacher. But here in part 2 with Sean, we dive into the vulnerability that transforms education, the empathy that comes from struggle, and how ADHD became his teaching superpower. This is about finding strength in the places we thought made us weak. Welcome back to Leading Our Own Way for part 2. Here's Sean. So, going back to you as a father, it sounds like having Val would obviously change your life, maybe change your perspective to a certain point, well, not to a certain point, all the way. Did you said, connected to that topic, that you didn't really have a role model. What was your childhood like then? Did you have a role model in a father or anyone else in your life?
My father is, I would say, one of the strongest men in the world. I love him to pieces. He's one of the. I have a very special relationship with him. I didn't have that relationship as a kid, and that's something that pains me, because I've seen the beauty that he can show, and I've seen what he is as an adult, and I wish I had that as a kid. He had his own demons that he had to explore and he had to go through. It's not my story, it's his story. It's something that I guess changed all of our lives when we were growing up. He went through hell and back. He is one of the, I couldn't call him, he's one of the greatest men I know, but I couldn't call him my role model. I haven't modeled myself on him. The person who I am today has been modeled on myself. I've modeled everything that I've learned and what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing on myself. That makes it hard, I guess, having that, but going through school and teachers I didn't have the same connections that I have with kids today with teachers. I was that kid in school that was like, they're naughty, they're always distracted, they're always doing the wrong thing. I was suspended, I was sent home, I was always in trouble. And I always take it back to probably my first year in primary school. So it was my first few years of primary school were a bit over the place because my dad was in the RAF. So we're traveling around a lot. And we settled out of school at Townsville West, probably, yeah. And when I was there, I went through a few things that I feel like no kid should ever go through. I went through, I would say I was bullied by the teacher. I had my legs taped to a table. I was told shut up. I was put down. I was belittled. I was made fun of. And this was the person that was teaching me. And I say to myself, I'm like, in first year uni, they ask you, like, why did you want to be a teacher? And I said to myself, I want to be a teacher because of her. I don't want people like her in the classroom. And I think I was lying. It wasn't her. The reason why I wanted to be a teacher. The reason why I wanted to be a teacher is because of the good teachers I had. The teachers that actually pushed me. The teachers that actually got to know who I was as a person and said, all right, maybe he needs to stand up when he works. Maybe he needs to do this. Maybe he needs more breaks. Maybe he needs that. Those teachers are the ones that really pushed me. So I spent 2 years of being made fun of, belittled by one teacher. So by the time I got to year 4, I was 2 years behind academically. And my mum was like, oh, going to parent-teacher conferences, and it was all, this is no lie. I looked at report cards because I had report cards, and she wrote comments. She wrote comments for everything, and every comment she wrote was negative, and like he's distracted, he can't get work done, he doesn't like to read, he doesn't want to read, all this sort of stuff. And then you got to my music teacher, you got to my language teacher, and you got to my PE teacher, and they were glowing. He's one of the best students in class. He's so well behaved. He has beautiful temperament, all these things. So why are those teachers saying that, but one teacher's not? And I would say to them, I'm like, I hate this. I hate school. I couldn't stand it. Year 4 comes around. I love school, Mum. I love it. It's the best. Year 5, I love school. It's so cool. I love this school. And then as
What
we get older,
changed then? Sorry.
yeah, the change is good. But as we get older, it changes the other way. It's not the teachers, I guess, that are letting me down. It's the students around me. It's the behavior that was perceived back then to be okay. Making fun of people just to get a laugh. Bullying and being just harassed daily. Going into high school, my last few years were rough. So then that's why I started hating school again. So I had 2 years of school where I excelled. Out of my whole primary years, I had 2 years where I did really well. The other years, but I'm catching up. I'm still trying to catch up. And then I get to those years and I go backwards again. And so I was trying to think. One day the psychiatrist asked me like, well, "How were you at school?" And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't smart." That's what I said. He goes, "No. How were you at school? Like, what kind of kid were you?" And I was like, "Oh, I was pretty happy. I was pretty energetic. Um, I moved around a lot. I talked a lot. I couldn't stand still. I couldn't stay still. I kicked my legs a lot. I flicked my fingers. I was very fidgety. I was very all over the place." And what made it hard is, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's very good. That's a lot of signs of ADHD." Um, so this lady, my first teacher, was too busy already putting a box on me and not trying to make those connections that we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
which are so beneficial. If she tried just an ounce of connection with me, is like try and get to know me, try and understand how I learn, I might have excelled in her year. I might have been better, but she
Mhm.
chose not to.
Yeah.
And those memories, like they're so clear in my mind. Those year 2 and 3 in my mind are clearer than last week.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, yeah. Um,
Sorry.
that's all right. Yeah. So that's like primary school is
Do
tough. Yeah.
do you do you have any inkling to why she decided to connect with you in this way?
I actually have no idea. I remember. So I sort of briefly touched on it, but I remember there was one day. I was talking. To a friend. We were allowed to talk. It wasn't like a quiet time. It was allowed to talk. And I was talking to a friend, and she stands up in our classroom, and she goes, "Don't you ever shut up?
She said that to you.
You are so dumb." And
Wow.
I looked, and I didn't do anything. I just sat there and just, I'm dumb. That's what, that's why I'm like this, because I'm dumb. Um, I was a very emotional kid. Like I definitely cried a lot. Especially those years. They were pretty tough, and I had high emotions. Um,
Were you anxious as a child?
yeah, I wasn't until I went to school. Um, I was pretty outgoing. Like when I was younger and we lived up in Darwin, I used to always hurt myself. And everyone knew me as, oh, Smiley's back in to get stitches, or this happy guy back in to do um this happy guy back in to do get something done. Um I feel like I lost a lot. That's the first part. I felt like I lost a bit of me.
Yeah.
That's the first part where it was like, this is the first this is the first slash. Um the second slash was in sort of the year levels when you're a bit older and the bullying starts. Um I was a bit different. I moved to a new school in my last 2 years of primary school because my brother and sister were there. I moved to a Catholic school, and yeah, I would say the next seven or next how many years I was there was probably the worst time of my life. Um, it was painful. Um, it was hard. It was rough, and it was you wouldn't want that on anyone. The things that I experienced and I felt. I think I think I see that time now a lot clearer. I blamed myself for a long time about
Mhm.
why I couldn't do things or why I couldn't do something to try and change things that were happening. Um, but also I didn't trust adults because of
Why?
I had a lot of I had a lot of I guess I had a lot of adults that let me down um, growing up, and year seven was when I learnt about wearing a mask, being different, trying to be this joker.
Mhm.
But I didn't start really wearing it until I was in year nine. So year nine was when I really put on this facade, this fake version of who I was. And it was tough. It was, I remember talking about things that I experienced at high school with my psychologist. And she's like, with some of the things that you've experienced, Sean, you shouldn't have. You, it's kind of interesting that where you come from,
Mm.
the things that you've experienced, the things that you've gone through, and the things that you have had to deal with. Look where you are, though. How did you get here? Like, what? You must have some strength inside you that pushed you to where you want to be. Um, I remember walking around high school trying to feel hidden or trying to be hidden because it'd be the next joke, or it'd be the next butt of someone's joke, or it'd be the next, or I'd be pushed, or I'd be shoved, or I'd be hit, like, and I didn't fight back. I stopped fighting back. I was like, this is just daily life. This is just my life now. This is how it's going to be. And it was tough. I just lost me. And for years, 4 years, I wasn't the same person. I remember finishing high school and people going off to uni, people going off to get jobs. I sat in my bedroom for 2 years playing PlayStation because I just didn't give a shit. I didn't care.
Did you have a sense of relief that you'd finished high school though?
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Can I
it,
ask who who were the adults or the people in your life that you lost trust in?
There's a few
during those
teachers.
times? Yeah.
There's definitely a few teachers that I lost trust in. Like I'd gone to teachers saying, "This is happening. I
Mm.
need help,"
Yeah.
and I'd get the same answers. Oh, like boys will be boys. Like just we'll have a chat and you can move on. Um, my footy coach at high school, he probably he's one of the people that failed me the most, I would say. Like this is a big thing. Like um, I remember year nine. We used to have to go to the gym in the morning to do a workout because we played rugby league. We used to go to the gym in the morning and we used to have to do a workout, and then we're doing this workout and there's a few boys mucking around in the gym. Like we're year nine. Like it's probably the worst year at high school. Like everyone's
Yeah.
silly. Um, and he walks in and he goes, "You're just a pack of pussies." And I was just like, this is a grown man telling a bunch of 14-year-olds that we're a bunch of pussies. I said, if I did that today, if I walked into my classroom and called the kids in my classroom that,
Mm.
see you later, don't come back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I would deserve it. I just remember the pain of feeling let down as well. Because I felt let down from the teachers. I felt let down, and I didn't know how to explain it to myself. I never
Mm.
told my mum and dad the detail of things that were happening to me.
Do they know now?
No, no, I don't know.
So if they were to listen to this and they asked you, would you tell them?
Yeah, yeah, I would. Um,
On that moment, then, I know there's part of your journey, and it's because people are going to be sat there wondering why I've not asked you that question. Um, we'll probably need to explain here. There's parts
yeah,
of your journey that we're not going to share,
mm,
but is there any parts of your journey that you did experience that you can share?
yeah. What I'll say is, um, the parts of the journey that I'm not going to share are parts of the journey that I'm still trying to work on.
Yeah,
So, and I feel like I need to know my story and understand my story before I can share that. Um,
yeah,
there's probably someone sitting out there going to listen to this, who maybe feel the same way, or felt the same way through things. And if they haven't done anything, I would say to that person, go and speak to someone. Go and have a chat with them. Go and go see a psychologist. Find the right psychologist. Go see someone and talk about it, and find something that you can build on. Find something that you can really push forward with in life, because it's going to be really hard if you leave that, if you stay in that moment.
mm.
Because I know it was. I know.
How long?
Yeah.
Sorry. How long did it take you outside of speaking to the psychologist? Then, how long did it take you to talk about this openly to someone?
Last year. So,
Wow.
last year. So I had a lot of intrusive thoughts last year, um, about the things that happened, or about things that I experienced, um, in high school. And, I was like, like, it started really weighing on me, like it getting heavier and heavier. And
Mm.
I think a lot of this came back is because I never want this stuff to happen to my son.
Yeah.
And I think it all came back by having Val, that I need to be better. And by being better, I need to get help. I would say um, I'm still in that process. I'm still working every day to try and get help and try and be better and try and move on from the trauma and the things that I've experienced. Um, and sorry that I'm not going to share it. Yeah, I might come
No,
back
don't.
in a while and we might have a conversation about that stuff on a future
Yeah,
podcast. But
absolutely. Whenever you're
just
comfortable, mate, and
yeah.
never apologize. By the way, never apologize.
Hmm. Um, but I would say things that I can share is I'll share a lot of um, I'll share a lot of the things that happened to me with bullying. I guess um, so. Things that happened to me is um, I was I was beat up by about six other people at school. Like it was pretty bad. Like I had 4 or 5 cuts on my face. I was just I was broken. Um, and um, I went to speak to like a teacher found me and they said what happened. And one of the students that did or participated in beating me up said, "Oh, we saw him fall down the stairs." And so went to the sick bay and the principal walks in and goes, "Oh, Sean, how'd you fall down the stairs?" I'm like, "I didn't fall down the stairs." And I just explained what happened, and they didn't believe me. Why would I lie about that? And that moment changed everything. That moment, that was one of the first times I was hurt in high school, and that was a moment that changed everything. I despised any person that was an adult or
Yeah,
an authority figure. And that made me probably worse as a student. I, yeah, I was made fun of constantly. I just lied. People made up rumors and things about me. And I was like, why is this happening to me? Why am I the person getting picked on? Like, I asked my question that so much. I still ask that question. Why was it me? What did I do?
with, with all this keep happening, did you ever lose it at all? Did you ever hit a red point, a red zone, and just crack it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
when?
I got a person that does something once that didn't deserve it. That's what happened. So I was at my tether. It was happening a lot. Um, and this kid came up behind me and he slapped me on the back of the head as hard as he could. And then I was like, oh, like that. And I rubbed my head. And as I was rubbing my head, he just like whacked me in like the nuts. And I just saw red. I
I can
lost
understand why.
complete control. I think I would have got 40 punches in
Wow.
before someone pulled me off. That is something when I'm talking about this and all that sort of stuff, I hate myself because of that one moment. That one moment made me hate myself so much. When I after it happened and I was suspended and when I had to go home, I was in this very low mindset of I don't deserve to be here. And that's when the depression pretty much started kicking in. that's another word that people didn't really look at. Mental health, depression. Um, that's when I guess like this sort of the and will disclose is that's when this self-harming started happening. And
How did you self-harm?
I used to cut myself. Um, yeah, it was one of the silliest things I ever did. I would say to
Have you?
someone who does that now, who feels like they need to do that now,
Hmm,
that that's not the answer. Like,
cool.
yeah, go and speak to someone. Go and it's hard. It's hard me saying that to someone right now. And if they're listening, like if they're listening and they're like, I can't do that. I can't go and speak to someone. It's hard. It's too hard.
Hmm.
Trust me. Walk down the street, sit in a cafe, and talk to someone. Anyone. Our society these days, mental health is serious now.
Hmm.
Mental health is life changing.
It's
We
the
need,
all-time
and
low, I think.
yeah, we need to be better. We need to. Why can't people share? There's so many programs and there's so many non-for-profits out there that support people with mental health or support the people that have um, issues with mental health.
Hmm.
Talk to Headspace or Lifeline. Call them up. Have a chat.
Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue.
I've just interviewed the vice president of Beyond Blue, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Her episode
Um,
will have dropped 2 months ago by the time this is
wow.
dropped.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
well, live. It's on next week. If I'm
yeah.
planning ahead, it's actually live next week, Sean. So definitely tune in to Ray Bonnie's episode because she's the vice
Yeah.
president of Beyond Blue, and it is it's beautiful program like that where people can open up and it's okay to talk. It's okay to share your journey, and that's the power in why this podcast exists. It's to allow a safe space to be vulnerable, and we need to create more safe spaces for people to be vulnerable, and because that is the stepping stone, that is the pivotal point of going in the right direction of recovery to begin with. You know,
Mm.
with your depression, did you ever go to a dark space beyond harming yourself? Did you ever contemplate harsher things upon yourself?
Yeah, I did. Um, and like I think back on this moment, on that moment of thinking about why my mindset went to that. And
What did you plan on doing?
yeah, I planned on really hurting myself. I planned on looking at suicide. Um,
And when you say planned, do you mean the thought in your head, or did
I
you
had a
actually
I had a
plan
whole
it out?
idea in my head
Oh,
about how I could do it and what I could do. And this is what's and and it was I was that was my lowest moment in that was I had hit rock bottom. I was finished. I was a mess. I was completely finished. Nothing was good in my life. Um, and I
and nothing
remember
was going to
like
stop you.
I wrote a letter. I wrote a note to my family. I apologized to them. I'm sorry that I did it. Um, sort of explaining a few things.
Hmm.
Um, and
Did you
then
tell him in the note what had happened?
no, no.
Okay.
Um, I wrote that note, and I remember writing that note actually. Like I remember writing that note, and I was numb. I wasn't crying. I wasn't sad. I was numb. It felt wrong. It felt like I shouldn't be here.
Hmm.
And when I think about um, it today, suicide, and mental health and depression. I'm a very strong advocate for talking about it, asking someone if they're okay. Like I said before, I would say every of my good close mates would call me and say, "Hey, I'm struggling." They know that they can speak to me. They know that they can come and chat with me. They know that I love them. And I tell people that. I don't just tell my family that. I tell all my friends I love them because I do. Love's not love's not just a family thing. If you love someone, you're there for them. You back them up. You look after them. You make sure they're okay. That's love. And all my really close friends, I love to pieces. Like they're the best part of me. Going back to my um, sort of why didn't it happen? That's the answer. So why didn't it happen? So I'd wrote the letter. I'd figured out how I was going to do it and where I was going to do it. I was like, I'm going to go to school on this last day. Something pretty bad happened that I can't really, like, it's sort of not my story, but something really bad happened at school earlier into that. And I was walking. Mum used to either drop me off or I used to walk. Wasn't that far away. And I was walking to school and I just heard this, Sean, hey, Sean, behind me. And I turned around. It was a guy from my homeroom. And at that stage, I didn't really have any friends at school. And I was like, hey, how are you? And he's like, yeah, good. Like, what are you doing? Like, how you going? And I don't know like, it was like it was meant to be. I
Definitely.
think and then every day for the rest of that year, he walked with me to school. We became
Wow.
friends. He had a few friends at school that I became friends with. This guy he's one of the most beautiful people. Like, I've lost touch. I distanced myself from Townsville and um, everyone back at home. I don't I don't love going back there. Um, but my mum and dad still live there, and my brother still lives there, and my nephew and my nephews, sorry, live there. And that's what's, I guess, special about Townsville to me is my family there. Um, and yeah, I lost touch with this guy, and he is, yeah, I think, I don't know if he doesn't know that he saved my life.
If he was listening, what would you say to him?
Yeah, like thank you, like you did, you saved my life.
And
If
he
that
doesn't even know it.
if that interaction didn't happen, I wouldn't be here.
And you were adamant that day it was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, after school, yeah.
Wow.
Um, and there's something shifted just slightly. It wasn't
Hmm.
fully fixed, but something shifted that day. Um, it
Amazing.
was yeah, it was a tough time. Um, my whole outlook on suicide has changed dramatically. Um,
How
since
does it look
then,
now?
it's just that like why would I do that to someone? If I
Hmm.
did that to myself, what like that's selfish in if I did that to someone, like people do it. I'm not saying that people do it, everyone does it, that they're being selfish. I'm just saying like
Hmm.
in my eyes, I felt like if I did it to someone that I love, I'm being selfish to them. And
But
like,
your mind that day, in that period of time, was in such a dark place. You probably felt the world was going to be a better place without you. That's probably where your mind was at, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think I've ever felt that day felt, it was a weird feeling.
Yeah. Hmm.
It was and it was like I don't even know how to explain the feeling. It was numb to the point that you couldn't feel anything.
Join us tomorrow to hear more from today's incredible guests and learn valuable insights to help you lead your own way. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you then.